Right. Ooh, let's make sure everything's all set up here. Am I Mike? Am I Mike? Am I Mike? Is my name Mike? No. Is my mic green? I think we are loud and clear. Let me move the microphone in here for some professional lip-smacking ASMR as it goes. Right then, good morning folks. Welcome to Train Sim World. You'll have to apologise, I've got my jazz voice on this morning. I've not long woken up. I got a little bit of like not a sore throat brewing, but like you know, when you wake up and you're all raspy. I got a little bit of that going on, so I'm just trying to slowly sip some water and shift that. Hopefully we're all having good mornings as well. Weather update here in the UK. It's bloody cold. It's soaking wet, like, and it's cold. Like it's 14th of August. I still want something left of summer. I mean, summer wasn't like fucking 4 days in July. Like, we need a bit more sun if you're up there. So yeah, with any luck, it will get a bit warmer, but somehow I doubt it. Somehow I reckon, in the crazy ass body clock of the planet, it's somehow the 4th of December already. Thank you very much to Azure Sinai. Good morning, Quebec and chat. Hello, Mr. Azure Sinai. Welcome. Right. Yeah, winter is here pretty much. Okay, so welcome back to Train Sim World. It's been a while since we've had a play on Train Sim World, and I'm looking for some guidance on what route I should take. If I actually load us into the game here with one of many game capture scenes that I have no idea that I've set up properly, is it this one? Number 5? It's not number 5. Let's try number 4. Do you know, now that I think about it, I think I got rid of my game capture window for Train Sim World, so let's make a new one, or let's change one of the ones I already have. This one was Armour 3. I shall now change it to... No, I'll keep the Armour 3 one. What about this one? This one was Duskers, so we'll put this one here. Train Sim World. Capture specific window. And then I will... I will rename it to Game Scene, just so I know where it is. Scene, Train Sim World. Lovely. Game Scene, Train Sim World. Fantastic. And I need to get rid of this, don't I? Yes, let's remove that. Delete that thing, yes. Alert box is in the right place, that's in the right place. I would say we're about good to go. Right then, if I tab into the game, we should hopefully have video. Any second, there it is. Right, and then I switch back to the live tab, and we can get into playing some trains. We're going to obviously be taking Doug. Doug who you dig, Doug. And we'll be taking him out. Level 4. Level 4, best train, class 37-5. Or /5, if you can have a best train, that's the one. Right. Okay, let's see. Let's have a look here. So I've got a few different routes that I have available to be playing today. Yeah. I think I've got about 8. Thank you very much there to Hexdot for the 15 months, sir. Thank you, very kind. Okay, so yeah, what do we want to be playing today? Is that notification a bit loud? I feel like that's a bit loud. Let me just... it seemed to really burn through there. Let me just go to the alert box and turn that down momentarily. Subscriptions, sound volume. Let's drop that down like there. Just shave a bit off of it. We could do some freight routes. Absolutely could do some freight routes. In fact, I was probably hanging on doing a freight route because I wanted to do the Trans-Pennine Railway again, simply for the fact that there was an add-on that added a couple of extra locomotives. So at my disposal now, I also have on this line, as well as the Class 45 1 BLU and the Class 47 4, I also have the classic Class 40 tractor, pretty much the face of British rolling stock. And this Class 8 in BLU British Rail livery as well. Alt Climber says, currently feeling the trainception while sitting in a real-life train station. You hail from the mobile phone, sir? Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're having a good commute. Where are you off to today, Climber? I imagine work. I'm used I used to maintain the red locomotive that was in the main menu. Which one? Was it this one? Back I go. Switch routes. This one here. The Ruhr-Signord train. Very common train in Europe, that one. Very common. I got on a few of these in Amsterdam when I was down there. Let's see. Good morning, bud. How's it going? Today's the day I'm finally able to get back to work after 4.5 weeks of sitting on my arse. Good to hear, Blade. Good to hear. Thank God. I bet you were going stir crazy in the house. You're picking your partner up from Sydney Central Station. It's 8 PM here. Ah, right. Of course it is. Of course it's 8 PM there. So yeah, we've got a couple of routes we can do. We've got CSX Heavy Haul if we want to, which is a freight line. There's some freight lines on the New York run. There's some freight lines on the Great Western Railway. There's Rapid Transit, which is exclusively a commuter rail. West Somerset, which is exclusively a commuter rail. This, I believe, has some freight. I don't actually play much of the Ruhr-Signord line. I could actually do a little bit of this. What do we think? Do we want to go? Do we want to go into Europe? I've got a lot of American trains, and then I've got some other trains, but I don't have many of the European lines. In fact, I think this might be the only European line that I have. So we could take it out. As Ursina says, might as well refresh this as well, eh? Cheers, Q. No worries, Azor. Welcome, welcome. Your mouse is asynchron with the game. Oh, is it being weird, is it? Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? It was doing this the other day on Armour, and I'm not sure what's causing it. You'll have to bear with me. Be live bug fixing, it's what we always do, innit? Yeah, so I click down here in the game. It's like the window for the game is... Yeah, it's doing this thing again. Let me see here. I force scaling. No, there's no need for that. Not force scaling. Add back in. Yeah, it's like the capture window for my mouse and the capture window for the games are like slightly out of sync. But if I drag this larger, it goes to here. It's almost like the game is... It's almost like my stream is considering it as a 720p window. Let's have a look at my settings briefly. Because I shouldn't have anything set to render in... No, it's all set to render in 1080p. And he exclaims loudly again, I lock that there. Properties. Anti-cheat. It was doing this on Armour the other day, and I'm not sure what's caused it or why it does it. Because, yeah, it's kind of hard to show you on stream. My remark broke the stream, it did. Yeah, bit of live bug fixing. I wonder why it does that. I do wonder. If I click stretch to screen, it does that, and then my mouse, would be perfectly synchronized with what I'm clicking on. So if I'd like to come over here, tab back into the game, oh, it's not even. It's not even. What terrible thing has befallen my my OBS? Fit to screen? No. Not even fit to screen. Stretch to screen? No. Reset transformation. There we go. How bizarre. How bloody bizarre. I wonder if it's something to do with my in-game resolution. No, 1080p full screen. I'm not sure where it's dropping out of sync. Screen percentage. Oh. That would make everything look really HD, but I don't know how that would hit performance. It looks perfect to me. Well, I think we'll just have to deal with the fact that the mouse is going to be a little bit out of whack. If you want, for the sake of this, I can disable the cursor capture, if that really sort of throws you off. Because you're not going to really need to see it anyway, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, it must be something to do with the way the cursor's hooking onto the screen that's freaking it out. Mouse be jank, possibly. Thank you very much to 72 Evolution. I'd like to order a burger with extra fries and a big Coke. I don't think I've ever heard anyone go into a restaurant and say big Coke before. Oh, fair enough. Right, so, do we want to go on the European line? I think we shall go on the European line. Disable the cursor until it gets fixed, air quotes, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump on the European track here. Continue, the Ruhr-Sieg Nord line. Just got to wait for it to load up. Extra large, that's it. Big Coke. Very big Coke. Ruhr-Sieg Nord, that's it. Just got to wait for this to load up. I think I've only played this once on stream a very long time ago. I always end up with some British rail stock or some, massive American freighter. But never on the Ruhr-Sieg Nord. Lots of beautiful sort of splash screens as we text forever. There we go. Oh no, it's going to make me do the introduction. Don't make me do the introduction. I already know how to drive this train. Yes, quit to the main menu. Should let me straight on now that I've done that. Here we go. Okay, so we've got a couple of options then in terms of rail services. I believe these two, the BR143 and the BR185.2, these are our two trains that are available. So, I mean, we could play with either of these, to be honest. This here is like part of it's like a powered motor carriage or like a driver carriage or whatever they're called. Quebec playing as Choo Choo Man. This could be good. I sure hope so. We could even just fucking spawn as Doug here. I think we should possibly take out this guy here. Hello, Willow. The cat has come in to say hello. How are we doing? You gonna give a meow for the stream? Maybe not. Quite cold. Yeah, it's freezing out, isn't it? Oh, we got a little meow. Hey, what's up? Did you hear I needed a fireman? Hey? Fireman cat? Get you tangled out of that cable. There you go. Hello, Satan, that's right. She doesn't come in and meow at me anymore. She's kind of chilled out. She's out of her adolescent period, I think, where she's just shouting at everything. Ooh. You have come in for a fuss, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Hello, cat. Cat Cam when? It's a little angel. Oh. She's just pacing up and down my desk, eh? Hey? What's up, eh? Where's all this lovey dove come from? You normally just stare at me from the other side of the room. There you go. Yeah, no, that's it. She's had her allocated sort of fuss time. She's off. Right, let's take the BR185.2 then. Let's take this out for a spin. As of the moment, it is summer. We're going to take it as if we were driving it now. It's summer in... Well, we'll go with the weather here in the UK. So I can look out of the window in real life and see how miserable it is. It is a rainy summer day. Just like that. Very weirdly reflective out and about. I'm not sure why that is. Snow level is at 0. Must just be the reflections being a bit dodgy in the sun. So yeah, wetness level, it's soaking wet, so we're gonna jump on in. I could even go for fucking autumn rain, to be honest, because that's autumn drizzle. Definitely not autumn drizzle. Because we're in the middle of a thunderstorm here at the moment. There we go, yep. That looks... no, we'll go with summer. Changes the colour of the leaves and stuff. So, summer rains. Now then, we've got a few different missions, air quotes, that we can do. God, you have some trains that are running in the very small hours of the morning. Good grief. You're playing easy mode, then. German, they are notorious for being hours late. Yeah, I apologise. Yeah, we've had a bit of a run of late trains here as well. So it's 20 past 11 at the moment in game. Oh, sorry, in real life. So we could take this 10 past 11 train, run this mixed freight train along from Hagen to its holding site at Finnentrop, where another driver will take over. So I think we're going to take this mission in the rain, 10 past 11 in the morning. Let's rock and roll. So mixed freight here. Let's get it moving. Let's get it shimmy on. Should be good fun. I've got to be honest, I can't really remember. Yeah, it's a nice long route from the looks of it. Where is Quebec from in England? I am from the Birmingham in the UK. For some reason, I just didn't pick up the accent. I've also dropped my stream deck on the floor. All of these things are good. Lovely. So here we are. As the game helpfully tells me, we are sitting. Also, I believe the frame rate is tanking because I took the render thing up to 200%, which I don't think the game was quite ready for. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's drop that back down. It's not quite ready for that. Video settings. Let's bring this down to like 100 and. Oh, well, let's bring it back down to 100%. I think the game would be able to handle that then. Not even really. Okay, well, rain apparently shags train sim. I've got to be honest, I don't even think it's the rain. I think it's the complexity of the track in front of us. Right, we need to figure out how we get this bastard rolling. To be honest, the direct brake is on. You see, we've got a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Let's choose the master switch to forward. Let's release the independent brake. Train brake is running. Train brake to release. Train brakes are being released. Train brake is released, and then let's give it a little bit of throttle. Absolutely no amps going through the system. Oh no. Oh. It's thinking about it. Probably have to overcome like the traction of the locomotive there. Okay, do we have wipers? I'm guessing we do somewhere. Having a good old moan at me at the back there, the train. Passenger door. Air brake, headlights fully reduced. Master instrument running. There is going to be a button for this somewhere in this shunting control. Something release, something override. Can't see a bloody thing. Where, oh my god, look at the effect on the window. Performance is starting to pick up a little bit now. There we go, we're away. Gotta find those windscreen wipers, folks. Can't see a bloody thing. Passenger doors, horn. Just watching our speed there. Bring it down to minimum. That's the emergency train brake valve. Anything up above? No. Right hand under the direct brake. Must admit, I'm not seeing it. Right, we've got to give it some juice. Over the emergency brake. Wipers. On. Thank you very much, sir. So off we go. Let's take a look at our train here. So we're running some mixed freight on the main line here. It is very wet. We must be considerate of the fact that there is a 37-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up, so there's no need to really thrash it. And we'll just take it a little bit slower. Hold it at about 36, and then run it on minimum. I'll give it about 10% throttle as we come through here. Running on orange and yellows here. Well, orange and yellows, yellows and greens. Not bad at all. Coming out onto what looks to be the main line here. Okay, let's run it down to minimum as we come through this siding. I hope that isn't for me. I'm pretty sure that's for the left-hand track there, that red light. Through we go, over this siding. Over these points here. Looks like we're on quite a sharp curve. So we've been told to reduce our speed, as it were, to 37 mile an hour. Not bad. Very interesting mixed freight. Right then, so far so good. Let's keep the speed up at 37 miles an hour, if we can. Run quite a sharp uphill gradient as we come up here. Get a bit more sort of tractive effort from the train here. Give it a bit more beans. Got plenty of hauling power, this one, so no reason why it shouldn't play with the big boys, or it is the big boy, to be honest. Please use standard units, kilometers per hour. Can't do it. Can't do it. I should definitely try though, shouldn't I? We're at about, what, 90 kilometers an hour? Yeah, let's change it to kilometers an hour, just because we're in Europe. I suppose it does make sense. Let's see here. Units. Measurement units. Yep, we'll put in metric. And we'll put it in Fahrenheit for now. Wonder if I can change the speedometer. No, that should be... There we go, 50 kilometers an hour. Currently speeding, because we're on a downhill gradient. Let's give it a little bit of braking. There we go. Just release the brake pressure a little bit. We'll just give it a little bit of direct brake. Take a bit off. Release the direct brake a little bit. There we go. Sort of holding at about this speed now, which is pretty good. So we're at 60 kilometers an hour, give or take. EU uses Celsius. Why on earth did I change it to Fahrenheit? I don't know. I had a moment. Forgive me. That's the train brake. I don't think we need to run with full train brake just yet. Let's give ourselves a little bit. There we go. Direct brake hold. In fact, we can kind of release that now, as we are now running on the flat here. Let's give it a little bit of tractive effort here. About there or so. Just 1% on the throttle. Just above minimum. Unexpected trolling, yep. Big brain, that's it. Big Coke. Right. So our destination is in 44 kilometers. Got a 50 kilometer an hour bit coming up. As we roll in here. So I believe I'm running on a green and a yellow. Yep, that would be me. Green and a yellow, and then a double yellow. Hopefully we'll be allowed to pass through relatively unscathed. Let me drop the train's power down, and let's run a little bit of direct brake as we come through here. There we are, just on the flat here. Just got to be mindful of the fact that we need to slow down to 50 kilometers an hour. I think this train will do that very comfortably in the half a mile we've got. Signal lights in this game are a bit wonky. Yeah, they can be. I know. Here we go. Looks like we're bearing... Looks like we're going right here. No? I was wrong. Yeah, let's hit a little bit of that brake. And let's release it. Pretty much on the dot there. Beautifully done. We'll roll round this way. We are holding at about 50 kilometers an hour then as we come through here. You would have thought this was a faster line than 50 kilometers an hour, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. We've got a very steep uphill gradient, so we're going to get some amps into the system here. Try and combat this steep grade. It's very wet as well, so the locomotive may slip slightly. We've got about 50% throttle just under, getting us up this hill. Does the wet weather actually decrease traction? As far as I know it does. Give it 36%. Up we go. Right. Where does one learn the train driving rules? The game doesn't really teach that much. Well, it's not really much. It's not really much to consider, really. The only thing that really you kind of have to get a feel for, and there's nothing anyone could tell you, is like having, you know, oh God, words like braking distance and things, stuff like that. The game doesn't really teach you. Yeah, but things like braking distance are quite important. But you just get that by getting a feel for the game. An absolute spaghetti junction and track here. It is beautiful though. I do like it. Well, that's not for me. That's on those middle two lines. I'm on the outer line here. Looks like I'm on the slower line, although that wouldn't make much sense, as I am on the outer bit of track here. Or maybe it is the slower line. Oh God, I'm speeding. Get myself a little bit of direct brake. Direct brake is struggling to counter the gradient. Let's get a little bit of train brake then. Release the direct brake. We're going to really slow down here. For some reason I'm having trouble releasing this brake. I think I tapped the emergency brake there. Sorry, I didn't realise that the brake system was like this. I need to release the train brake. This might take a while. I think I have seized the emergency brake. There we go. Yes, I have. Sorry, I didn't realise I'm using the hotkeys. I'm using hotkey semicolon and colon. I thought it was colon and hash. So when I tried to release the brake, I just slammed it into emergency. Right, let's give it a bit of power. At least we've not brought it to a stop on a hill, because that could have been a bit interesting. Right, let's try and make up some time. Let's give it a decent amount of power. 68% throttle. Really get some amps in there. Oh, here we go. Here comes some high speed. Oh, Jesus. See, if we wouldn't have stopped, we would never have seen him. Look at that guy. Beautiful. Excellent job. You can hear the squealing of the rail underneath us, the shrieking. With the train coming the other way, look at this. Look what we would have missed out on. Could even be the same train for all we know. Right, let's take a bit off the power. Keep making sure that brake is released. On the flat and level. Maybe you should go slow because you are close to a passenger line, or maybe it's to do with that EU noise. Yeah. Talk about immersion, that's it. You got it. So we've got a very high-speed bit of line coming up. Looks like we're going to be creeping onto the main line here. Hopefully I've not missed my window by stopping and we get hit by a red light, although it does possibly look like we're on a red light. I think we're that middle one there. Yeah, I think we have priority over this train here that's stopped. I think they were expecting me to make some better time. They stopped quite well considering the speed. There we go. Somehow this freight train, this mixed freight train, has priority over a fast passenger service. Somehow indeed. Love to know how we have priority over them, but... Oh, here we go. Screw in, you get there first and you have to wait. Should probably like ram up the headlights, shouldn't I? Like ramp them up a bit. Headlights bright. Literally screwing. It's because I'm late on my timetable. Honk for the passengers. That's headlights. That's that. That's wipers. Where's the horn? There it is. Beautiful. They probably didn't even hear that. Excellent. Right. Just waiting for the speed limit to increase and then we can give it the beans. There it is. Get it up to 85% throttle. We'll find some juice. Superb. You can see the pantograph changing heights there. As we like go under bridges and stuff, you can see it like, oof, Jesus Christ, that made me jump. We can hear the rattling now of the freight. Beautiful jobby. Right. Makes sense that you get priority over a passenger train. They will stop at every station, and I suppose when you put it like that. Isn't this game with the shit ton of DLC? Yeah, this has got quite a bit of DLC. As train sim fans, I hate to call myself that, but as a train sim fan, not necessarily of the company, but of train simulation games themselves, we were kind of hoping that Train Sim World would be different from the fucking crazy-ass £4,500 DLC pedal train that they seem to have put themselves on. But unfortunately, it looks like they're just going to release a shitload of this stock as well, a shitload of DLC for it. The only thing that's really annoying is I wish they'd they never will, but I wish they'd fix the rendering.
Oh,
like the power lines look really weird, the water looks really weird. But if we were going to give them credit, they have done an immaculate job with the cabs, the driving cabs. They've done a very good job with that. Right, well, we're slamming it up the main line here. Jesus, this is a hell of a speed for a freight train. Good God. 110 kilometers an hour. Or 120, I should say. Right, let's take a little bit off the juice. About there, 35% throttle, we can hold it. We're climbing at the moment, so we do need a little bit of power. There's another train, Jesus. That was a bit of a chode train, that one. Good grief. Right. Do you know if the 1700s NS locomotive is in the game? Maybe in a form of a DLC? I have no clue. Maybe. There are some other DLCs that are around the, sort of the European rail network, so it's entirely possible. I believe there is an add-on for the Röhrsig Nord, but I'm not sure. Slamming it up the main line, Kappa face. Beautiful. Still climbing, so we're going to hold the throttle at this speed. Listen to that. They've done a good job with, like, the noise on this one, because that sounds spot on. Straight over the level crossing here, devoid of all human life. Give it more beans. I'm at the speed limit, Karma. Can't go any faster than this. We'll be dropping down to 90 kilometers an hour in 3.1 kilometers. That will come around faster than you think. Some sort of siding there. But we're passing through some sort of industrial precinct. And a village attached to it. We are really banging along now. How is this 120 kilometers an hour when the other line wasn't? We're literally going through a town. Oh my god, look how much we're banking! It's a train, not an aeroplane. Look at that! Good grief. We're on the flattened level, so let's drop it down to minimum. Once we hit the 1 kilometer mark, we'll give it a little bit of train brake, remembering which keys are the right keys, and we'll start bringing her down. Yeah, let's start bringing her down. A1 train brake, A2 train brake, A3, A4, release a little bit of that. Tanking speed. Did I trigger the emergency brake? I feel like I might have somehow triggered the emergency brake. It's really struggling. Let's give it some welly. Not sure how the braking system works on this one. It's not like a percentage, it's got like modes. I'm guessing each one is twice as powerful as the next, but it seems like a dynamic brake. But we're definitely going lower than 7. It's a weird system. I'm not familiar with it. Is the air brake fully released? I don't feel like it is. Brake pressure still needs to equalise. I'm trying to release the air brake as much as I can. We're running downhill at the moment, so we can just coast. We're going up to 100 kilometers an hour, so I suppose we can accelerate. Multi-track drifting. Captain C, hey Quebec, new to your streams, but I love watching you on Womble streams. Well, welcome to the Quebec streams. One thing you're going to say is loving the accent. Thank you, I've had it all my life. You're very welcome here, sir. We play terrible, terrible, terrible games that you've probably never heard of before. But you're more than welcome to stay, as we play these terrible simulation games and whatever. My other claim to fame is World of Subways, though I must admit I haven't played it in a while. God, that looks like me. No, it doesn't. That's that siding line there. Okay, let's give it some juice. Now on the flat. I've earned a reward, supposedly. Well, thank you, Mr. Train Driver thing. I appreciate it. Will I sing again? Perhaps. Maybe one day. Listening to the hum of the loco. Is the game loud enough for you guys? Is there enough background noise coming through? Hear the hum of the engine okay? Hold it up and around here. On the flattened level, we'll run to minimum. Just coming through here, we've got some of those freight cars that we're hauling there on the right. 100 kilometers an hour as we come through. One of those ones, stand back from the platform edge. We come screaming through there. Oh god, look at that beast. Big train there. Well, tall train. It's nice, the line feels populated, I like it. Okay, we've got a uphill gradient now. We'll find some amps to give to the system. Yeah, look how much these railway lines bank. It's unbelievable. Does this game support VR? Sadly not. If they're not willing as a company to fix rendering issues like that, there's never going to be VR support for it. It was promised that we were promised like a multiplayer environment or a way to create like multiplayer servers so that I could have Cyanide or someone sitting there, or but Cyanide's the only other person on planet Earth that I know has ever played this game. That nobody else. Maybe SWAT Knight, maybe, but I don't even recall him playing it, to be honest. He's the only other person that would. But the idea that like the proposed system they had when this game first came out, and they like didn't really have a roadmap for it, was that they were going to make some sort of multiplayer timetable so that players could jump in the timetable of a train and actually experience of the trains going past them, and actually run to a busy timetable to populate a railway, like a busy railway network with loads of trains. You know what I mean? Make it really busy. But for some reason they just never, whether the engine, like whether it was just a crazy dream and the engine just had no chance of being compatible for that kind of work, I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Right, let's take a little bit off of the throttle here. We're going to run on train brake 1 here to see obviously how this affects it. Train brake 2. Train brake 4. Yeah, for some reason, it seems really weird, but as soon as you hit sort of train brake, anything above 2B, the train just sort of slams to a stop. I'm not sure why. It starts to coast, and then, boom, just literally falls right off. I'm not sure why it does that. I'll have to be considerate of it as we approach the next mark. No yawns yet. Don't say the word. Would be nice for a multiplayer environment, but literally one track would be so bad. Yeah. It'd have to be like, well, if you basically make it so that if you basically make it so that players have to conform to the timetable, then it wouldn't be that bad. God, this is beautiful. Frames per second have come back in the tunnel as well, I hasten to add. Oh, God, chat. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? Jesus. Right. Right then, let's keep it rolling. We'll go... Yeah, we'll just keep it rolling. Looks like we're holding around this speed. We'll give it a little bit of juice just to counter the gradient. Brilliant stuff. Ooh, I wonder if it can just close the blind a little bit. There we go, yeah. Just a little bit. Oh, I've clicked a button. Help. Help. Yeah, whew. I don't know what I did then. Right, so 70 kilometers an hour coming up in a moment. It's because you not only hit the brake of the locomotives, it's because you also hit the brake of everything behind you, so releasing it needs to pump all the air back. Yeah, I suppose. So I'm at 80 kilometers an hour currently. I could probably just coast down to 70. But we'll see. Probably not. Okay, let's give it 1A. The 1A just barely adjusts the speed. Looking pretty good on 1A. And release. Beautifully done. Not bad at all. Right then, let's give it a little bit of power just to counter the gradient. 13% throttle there. Lovely. Right. We're rolling through here. Sort of quite quiet, sort of... No, I wouldn't say rural, but... semi-rural. Beautiful country. Beautiful Joey. Round we go. When do you get off the work? What do you mean, Vib? You mean in game? No, when do we finish? In 25 kilometers. We roll through this station here. We'll be given permission to go back up to full speed ahead. God, that is like very close for such a massive freight train to be sort of swinging by. Yeah, we're now on the flat and level. We've just got to wait for the speed increase to be confirmed. And we can smash it on. There we go. It's not much of a speed increase, but we shall still compensate for it nonetheless. Lovely job. Right. Again, just a slight uphill gradient, so we will compensate for that. Just give it a little bit. Beautiful job. Does it actually take time to get to locations? Yeah. I'd say the world has been reasonably sort of mapped as sort of one-to-one. We've been going on this train line for about half an hour, 40-ish minutes. Yeah, the world isn't shrunk or anything. We are literally commuting here with our big old freight train. Hard to say what we're transporting. Let's have a look. Any guesses? Oof. Very cool. Very loud. I feel like there should be a couple of James Bond villains up here. Like, there should be some sort of fight scene on top of this train. Not that there could, because it's a bloody... there's overhead wires. Lovely. And compared in here, there's absolutely no drama at all. Lovely stuff. Right. Illegal weapons, yeah, Skyfall, that's it. Right. Looks like we're getting permission to go up to 90 kph in about 3 kilometers or so. Is the game in this world flat? I believe it is. I do not believe it follows the curvature of the Earth. It's one more for the flat earthers. definitive proof. It is a very quiet camp. That's always been a sticking point for the folks at Dovetail Games. Like, one thing that they don't get right, or one thing that, like, because you play a game like this for immersion, you don't play it for any other reason. Like, you play a game like this, simulation games, to be immersed in it. And, oh, I'm speeding here. One of the things that they never quite do right, just giving it a little bit of direct brake. There we go. One of the things they never seem to get quite right is the idea of sort of cab sway. So as of this moment, this train line wouldn't be super smooth as it is. The track would be, especially at this speed, and the freight would all be buffeting around. We'd be getting a bit of a rock on. That isn't rendered for whatever reason, and the noise of the locomotive and the cab never seems to be quite right. Like I say, it's always been a sticking point. A very, very shallow uphill gradient of 4.4, or the Earth is a smushed ball. I personally believe that the Earth is a single glaze Krispy Kreme donut, and that the sun is in the middle, which is why the sun never sets on one side of the planet, or something. There we go, we're getting a little speed increase here. What flavour? Just the single glaze. Just a single glazed donut. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Cube science, that's it. Yeah, Earth is a myth, in my honest opinion. Yep. What is Earth? I feel like I'm trapped in the Truman Show. No sprinkles on top? I don't know, there might be some sprinkles. We can pretend the sprinkles are the disused satellites that hang around in geostationary orbit. Or something. Something like that. If we put sprinkles on the Earth, it would be the equivalent of dropping a shitload of like shipping containers over the top of it. There's a thought. Any glaze? Any glaze? Yeah, single glaze, like just the sugar glaze. I'm not sure what you call it. That glaze on just this. They call them single glazed donuts here. I don't know what that glaze is, but it's nice, whatever it is. Then there are a lot of sprinkles, yeah. Which makes you stuck in a simulation-ception. It certainly does. Ooh, shite. I need to give it a bit of whack here with the brake. I can never get it to behave itself. As soon as I hit 2B, I know the whole train has to brake. As soon as I hit 2B though, like the tractive, there's a good thing I like slammed about a million amps into the system, like full throttle to try and counter the brake force then. Oh, the engineers are going to love me when this rolls into the workshop, I tell you. Well, here we go. We've got a bit with a decent bit of whack on it. We've just got to clear it. Wonder how long this is for. We've got 17 kilometres to our stop point. That a train on the line in front of it. Is that on our line? No, it's on that right-hand line. Right, here we go. Let's give it some beans as we come through. Get it up to about 85% throttle. And release as much train brake as I can. Looks like he was waiting for us to come through, potentially. God, it's... How many locomotives does one... That's a very powerful train. They're breaking the land speed record with that one. Q-Stream brought to you by donut stores. Oh man, I'd take a sponsorship from a donut store. You kidding? Of course I would. Fucking good God. They're like, yeah, they're like delivered like donuts, and I have to review. Oh God, I'd be dead within a week, 4 days. It would kill me. But oh, what a way to go. Siggy, you have a very yellow name, sir, if you don't mind me saying. What happens when you honk in a tunnel? I don't know. I don't know. It kills everyone on either side of it. The best kind of hashtag sellout, yeah. It sounds like a win-win, certainly does. Beautiful job. God, we are really slamming it through the countryside here. The train honks changed my mind. Let's do a little bit of a tootle-toot. Satan has returned, but this time for the windowsill. It's really cold here and there, like uncharacteristically cold. We've got a thunderstorm going on here in Birmingham at the moment. There's a little bit of the old clapper thunder. Dead bird on the line there. It could have been, I don't know what it was. Genuinely too pixelated through the train's particle effects on the windscreen. Stands for ultra speed. Of course it does. That honk was pathetic. Can you make your train crash? There's no derailing, sadly, not in the traditional sense. I remember there was a train simulator game back on Windows XP where you could literally derail it and you could fold the train like an old shoe off of the route. Like you slam into a set of like 30-mile-an-hour points at 120 miles an hour and the whole train would just buckle. That was good times. That was a childhood well spent, I believe. The only thing that was annoying about the original train simulator was the coal trains. It had the Flying Scotsman and the Orient Express. I could just never get the right amount of coal. Like the boiler would like either burn too hot or not hot enough, and I'd end up having trouble where like power or steam pressure would just fucking drop, and I'd just be like in a runaway train. Basically, trying to fucking get the thing to work. Yeah, I remember it just randomly lose power and then I wouldn't be able to get it going again. The Microsoft One, I believe it's still supported by the modding community. Fantastic news. That was unequivocally the best one. Are there cars stuck on passes, like you could slam into them from the side? I don't think so. I don't think that was ever around. I don't think the cars had hitboxes. I don't think they went as well as to do that. Oh, there's another train coming the other way. Another passenger. Oh. How many is this one? 1, 2, 3. Lovely. I was counting my frames per second there. Another train on this outer rail as well. He moving? No, he's all parked up. Is he waiting at a red for me? No, it's just literally, as far as I can tell, just some fucking... Oh shit, I need to slow down. Fuck, I didn't pay attention. 2. Four. Then start releasing. Then get as much throttle on as we can. 4 seems to be like the emergency brake, or the equivalent of. What? Oh man, the air brake is going to be so fucked. Well, we're below the speed limit. I tell you what, it stops fast. Jesus. The train equivalent of squealing tyres. Yeah, it really is. You have to play Train Simulator 2019 with its €7,500 of DLC. Yeah. No. €7,500, or as we like to call it, £9,500 in today's economy. So, just get it off the juice a little bit. Gave it a bit too much throttle there. The speeding up, I'm doing well. The slowing down, though, needs some work, I think. Although we're only 8.2 kilometres out. Not bad at all. Hydrate bots? Yes, we shall. Time for some H20. Are you joking? No, it's got €7,500 of DLC. I shit you not. If you go onto Train Simulator 2019 in Steam and go to Find More DLC, scroll right down to the bottom, it will give you an estimated price of total DLC. It's lots of little packages. 100 kilometers an hour light. Let's give it some welly. 80% throttle. Let's find some power. Nearly as much as the Dead or Alive 5, yeah. How much did you spend on Star Citizen then? What? You're breaking up. It's true. It's true. I've spent way too much money on Star Citizen. Robert has taken my money. He has taken my money, and he is having 17 lap dances a day in Las Vegas. But the amount I've spent on Star Citizen is nothing compared to the amount that I spent on World of Tanks over the however many years I played it. I've probably spent more on World of Tanks and League of Legends than I have in games in total, to be honest. Oh fuck, I'm doing that thing again. Right, let's train brake 1B. Stop speeding up, speed down. So 1B seems to be the way to go. It just takes a moment to get there. Let's go 2. Yeah, 2. 2 looks to be the sensible one. Okay. We did better that time. We're getting there. We're getting there. Do you still play World of Tanks? Not really at all. The total amount of money for the DLC in 2019 is €7,461 and 43 cents, I guess, as you'd call it. Train Sim Train Sim is an interesting. It came out in 2009, and rather than releasing a new game, they just kept updating it. Yeah. Do I still play what? Not really, no. To answer that question, I stopped playing it a while back. I didn't switch to War Thunder as so many people did, but I just lost my enjoyment for the game because of the fact that the new tanks, basically, I draw to Borderlands as my example here, Borderlands 2, because they've got a really good system for this kind of thing. So, in a game, it is necessary to have bad tanks, right? Having bad vehicles, if I turn around here, having bad vehicles is necessary to balance your game. You need to have the good, and you need to have the bad. Not every tank can be good, right? It's just not viable. Because what you end up doing is having this upwards sort of escalation, this upwards fight, with each vehicle being released to outperform the last. So, I'll give you an example. So, I won't name any specific tanks, but let's say they release a premium tank, a tier 8 premium tank, that has insane armour. I hearken to the Defender, in fact, if I point fingers. I hearken to the Defender, if you know which vehicle that is. Crazy armour. Unless you've got like a really powerful gun, nigh impregnable. So it goes around shit-stomping tier 8. And so what do? In about 6 months, 5 months' time, they release a vehicle with an insanely powerful gun to counter the Defender. And then 5 or 6 months after that, they make another vehicle because the new gun, the new tank with the new gun, is absolutely shit-stomping everything. So they make a new tank with crazy powerful armour so that that new tank is kind of made redundant, but then everybody plays that new tank. And then they have to release some sort of counter to that, and then that one becomes the strongest, and then they have to release some kind of counter to that, and that one becomes the strongest. They never seem to take the nerf bat out. They always just improve vehicles to make them stronger. And the escalation has been going upwards and upwards and upwards. The Defender, the Scorpion. The Scorpion G is a perfect example of like a tank that's got a monstrously good gun when the tier didn't need it. I remember a day, and it was so long ago, when the King Tiger, the Tiger 2, was like Papa Smurf for tier 8. He was king. He had a glaring weak spot in his lower glacis, but if you knew how to drive it... Oh my god, we've got a big break coming up. Fucking hell. This is what happens when I waffle. Right, release the brake, give me full acceleration. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly, yes. Tiger 2 is so bad in the meta. Yeah, power creep is exactly the word we're looking for here. Well, am I running on yellows? I think I'm running on yellows here. We must be mindful. In fact, we're pretty much at a stop, to be honest. So yeah, power creep come into the game in a big way. And yeah, it really did sort of like just shag a load of like for example, like I say, I've draw back to the King Tiger, the Tiger 2. That thing was really good, if not one of the alongside maybe the IS-3, one of the best tier 8s available. The IS-3 had its really weak pike nose, and it was difficult to drive, but it had a glaring weak spot. That is something that is missing from so many of the vehicles these days, are weak spots. There just doesn't seem to be any. Let's run on the independent brake here. Slow us down a bit. Oh, I think we're going to need more than that. Let's apply 1B. And let's go 2. There we go. Okay, well, it's not quite on the money, but it is objective complete. We'll take that. We could do one more. How about let's do one more. Let's do another one. Where do we want to go? And I'll continue my rant in just a moment. Let's go back to the main menu. Where do we want to go? I could never get into World of Tanks, to be honest. Yeah, they never nerf. I stopped playing because they nerfed all tanks. I stopped playing because they nerfed all tanks, so most tanks in their tier are like the same. They nerfed the KV-1S, they nerfed the health cap because they were too OP and nobody liked playing against them. I like playing against them because it was fun in finding overpowered opponents. Okay, let's say I want to kind of agree with you, and they did definitely nerf the Hellcat and the KV-1S, but that's such a small like pool compared to the tanks that are stronger than they used to be. Like the Hellcat and the KV-1S, they were shit stompers of their tier. But yeah, they never like those are just two that we can pluck out. There aren't really that many more, like in the grand scheme of things. Everything that they release today just seems to be stronger. Right, let's see. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? So we just did that one. We could do We could do a passenger train. That's the Tees Valley line. We could do the Northern Transpennine. Could do Long Island Railroad. Should we do this one? We could do this one. Let's see. Remember the KV and the Su-85 with the 107mm gun? You just shit-stomped tier 6s and just one-shotted everything below that, yeah. We could do a high-speed passenger train. Let's do that one then. We want to do... Should we go to Britain for our high-speed passenger? Should we go to New York? It's been a while since we've done the Great Western Express. Let's jump on this one. We actually got on one of these trains when we were down at Dorking. Not that I believe this scenario stops there. A Class 43 GWG. This is the high-speed train Class 43 that's still being used today here in the UK. Okay. Again, we're going to go for rainy weather. Summer rain. And it's infinite brightness. And the time is currently 12 minutes past 12. We do have a service around that time. We have this one. Cheltenham Spa to London Paddington. Let's do it. Superb. Great Western Express looks like Robert Downey Jr.'s face. It does a bit, I suppose. It was so much fun killing the KV-1S. It was so much fun killing a KV-1S that thought he could shit stomp you. There are many tanks that got nerfed. The light tanks all over the board. The TDs were nerfed because of concealment changes. They didn't nerf single tanks. They more nerfed tanks across the board and buffed single tanks to make them stand out. Yeah, exactly. And therein lies the problem. Single tanks being so incredibly strong without really having any weak points. What was that bloody... is it the Chrysler G? With, like, its impenetrable face? Like, I think it was. Or the Chrysler GF or whatever it is. The black one. And then ultimately the non-branded version that they released later. Right, so this... What do we need to change? So we need to put the reverser into... We can't put that in there. We need to turn the master key to unlocked. Forward. That horn. Beautiful. Fan speed. That's how fast Blade runs. Let's see here. Let's go... Emergency brake, we've got that. Where is that? We've got this. Let's release the brake from full service. And we'll give it some gas here. Here we go. We are away. Windscreen wipers then. Let's see here. 100 bits. This gun be good? Does this gun be good? I appreciate you saying so. Thank you very much for the 100 bits, Saru. That's very kind of you. Thank you kindly. And we'll find it. That's headlights. Probably put those on. Daylight and headlamp markers. Light switch. Can't see a bloody thing. We should probably change it back to miles per hour as well. Let's see here. This one, this one, this one. Go back to... Change it back from that European Fahrenheit. I don't know why I did that. I just run it on autopilot for a second. Right, 60 miles per hour. That's brake test. I'm expecting to see a little swazzle or dial or switch somewhere. It's the parking brake. Wipers, there we go. Wipers are on. In what can only be described as slow motion. Wash. Do you want to go any faster? Is that it? Is that really it? Is that really what you can get me in terms of wipers? I suppose to each their own, right? Oh, it's... Where did the light go? I feel like Wash was slightly faster. Beautiful. 46, see what happens to a bear when it's in the dark. He can barely see. Hold on. It's in here somewhere. Give me a second. And... Perfect. Thank you very much. He can barely see. Right, well, we are going to be slamming it up the high-speed line now. This weather's shocking. Absolutely shocking. Also appear to have broken the rain on my windscreen. by switching the camera. Let's see, can I fix it? Harry Houdini, come back. Well, I appear to have broken the rain particle effect. Or maybe we're going so fast rain can't touch the windscreen. Okay, the game heard me. Look at that water effect, though, going up the windscreen. Nice touch. That was a slightly smaller train there. We're at full crank here, we're going as fast as we can. It takes a while to get these high-speed trains up to speed, but once they get up there, they're pretty good. Don't like that the rain keeps disappearing. Just one of many problems of Dovetail Games' Train Sim World. This windscreen wiper is hilarious, like, it's just, what is it? Look at it! Right. Is there a way to wave to other train drivers? No, sadly there is not. Rain.gif, yeah. I know, yeah, I've already been on for an hour. Depending on how long it takes us to get there, this could be our last service. There's another high-speed train coming through. We are really running the course here. We have a top speed indicator and or warning. Who knows? All I know is that we're going really bloody quickly. What's the horn like on this train? It is as follows. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, always too quiet in the cabs. Beautiful. Screaming through this station. Bloody hell. It'd be terrifying to stand next to this as this came through. This is 110 miles per hour. This isn't kilometers an hour. This is miles per hour. This thing is booking it. Oof. Very nice. See, look at this. This is what they've modelled properly. Look at how the cars are like buffeting. They did a good job with the Great Western Main Line one. Look at that. Like, railway lines aren't perfectly flat and level. The cars buffet and they shake and they rattle. Look at that. Much better done. Much better, yeah. Much better. Right, we're hitting the top speed of our train here. There we are. I believe we have reached the top speed of our service. No? Nope, she's still got more to give. Because we're on a slight downhill gradient. I'm going to take the power off and just let her coast for a bit. Look at this absolute meteorite. Look at her go! Fuck yeah. Oof. That's on the map. Lovely. But she does absolutely haul ass. She does, she's like a meteorite. Off she goes. Phenomenal train. Right, let's get her a little bit of juice back. Because she's starting to slow down. Air resistance sort of pushing her backwards. Bye to all. Go to ludicrous speed, I'll see what I can do. Have I been on any actual high speed lines? Yeah, I've been on a few high-speed lines. I mean, the train line that goes up to Jane's, my girlfriend's, is a high-speed line. Do about 120 in places on that.
Oh, yeah.
The train from Birmingham to London's a high-speed line. If you ever pay to take the high-speed train, we've got Pendolinos, Virgin Pendolinos, that run between here and there, and they are quick trains. Enjoy my money, you Birmingham twat. Thank you very much, Army Pilots. And welcome back. I've not seen you in a long time, sir. Have you been lurking? Have you been busy? It's a familiar face that I have not seen. Edenoise, hello, sir. Yes, we are playing Train Sim World. Welcome, welcome. We are probably speeding a little bit too much here for the train conductor's liking. Can you drive on German high-speed lines? I don't know about that. There's the Rapid Transit contains liquid. Obviously, it's a DLC. Oh my god, look at that. Really, please, for the love of God, stand back from the platform edge. Rain hitting your face at this speed, like if this windscreen wasn't there. The pain you would be in is unbelievable, I imagine. You wouldn't even notice. Lurking and working mostly, watching VODs. Oh, right. Can you please say throttle? What am I saying? What am I saying? I genuinely don't know what I've been saying. Have I been saying... What have I been saying? I haven't been saying accelerator. God, you can see the train sort of shaking and buffeting. I'm getting a sort of feel for it now. God. Actually on ludicrous speed. I wonder just how accurate this sim is. Are there going to be long delays for British lines, jumpers, blackouts in the country capital that causes all the trains to halt? More than likely. Definite yes for all parties. A yellow signal coming up. Hopefully that's not for us. No, it looks like we're green. But this train is flying along. Goodness gracious me. Oh my god, it's so fast. It's faster than any reasonable train should be travelling. And yet it saves a shitload of time. Like, look how fast things are going out of that window. Goodness gracious me. And in this weather as well. I don't reckon trains would do the fucking full 125 mile an hour in this weather, but the game doesn't tell us not to, so maybe they do. Oof. Very responsive signal there. Bandabby dozy. Oh, hello, I see reds on the horizon. Hopefully these aren't for us. No, they're on the outer line. We'd be warned with yellows before... we'd probably have to go double yellow, single yellow, then red. Yeah, we've been cleared green. Smaller commuter train there. What's known as a sprinter. This train here known as a pacer. Sprinters, because they constantly start-stop, those trains. So they go... They stop, they go really fast, then they stop again. They go really fast and stop again. Sprinters, this one's a pacer, because it goes... at a decent speed over a very long distance. User speed measurement that isn't pulled out from somebody's arse. Miles per hour is so confusing. It's not confusing. 17 miles. I don't know how well this train stops, to be honest. It could be really good, it could be really bad. If you were to jump out of the train, how long would it take for the train in your dreams to disappear into the distance? About a quarter of a second. Sadly, they have thought of me when they made this particular DLC. I cannot leave, unfortunately. Fortunately, unfortunately. love it. I love the way the rain comes up the windscreen. Probably want to think about slowing down soon, to be honest. We're still 15 miles out, should be fine. Look at all of those commuters in there. Looks like a pretty much a full train. 1 or 2 seats free. This is blisteringly quick. God, you just wouldn't want to... Oh, I am speeding my ass off now. We'll just let it coast, it's fine. It'll come down to the right speed on its own. But we'll give it a little bit of help. No, it's fine. Just 1 mile an hour over. Look at it go. It shakes like a maniac. It's just insane. Just gone. Woof. Nobody out on that platform. Quite a quiet one, I reckon. Straight through. Hasten to add that this line is not electrified, which you'd kind of expect it to be, but it isn't. Well, if it was electrified, they wouldn't be running one of these. They'd be running something a bit better. Right. Max speed indeed. Lovely. Red signal on that outer rail there. We're fine. But we're making very good time. Oh, gosh. Oh, yawn. Cube yawn. Jesus. Oh, there we go. Suddenly, electrified fucking... That's good. Looks like it's only part electrified then. We have rejoined an electrified bit of rail. Absolutely flying along, speeding again. Ticking down slowly to our destination. So far so good, going well. The sound of the train and the rain is so peaceful. It is. It is quite a relaxing game, this, even though I'm shitting my pants about stopping in time. We are still 9 miles away, so there's no need to start braking yet. Is Train Sim World the only game I play? God knows, Pep. No, Pepsio is it? No. Take a look at the VODs. I play a few different games. Mostly indie stuff you won't have heard of. I'm not like the next big PUBG Battle Royale streamer, unfortunately. Not my cup of tea. We play lots of smaller games, weird games here. I've got to be... people tell me that they come to me to watch games that they wouldn't play themselves. Which is fair enough. Oh my god, I'm going so fast. Holy shit. Let's give a little bit of break for that one. Cube LA Noir. What's that? What's LA Noir? Really speeding his arse up. I really was then. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. 100 mile an hour speed decrease coming up. That'll be round faster than you know it. Yeah, we'll start on a creeping. We'll start on a creeping descent to that speed. A little bit of air brake, nothing too serious. Slow it down a little bit. Already well ahead of schedule. Lovely stuff. Excellent job. Overtake that sprinter. Down to 100 miles an hour. We come through this bit. Very nice. Can you tell me how many species of bear there are? Eight unique species to compare, sir. Some are fairly common, some are extremely rare. Right. Door kickers is good. How much notice do train drivers usually get? Anyone know? They just kind of need to know the line, to be honest. I kind of know the song. I don't really. That's what I tell people anyway. Do you have new bear facts to share? I don't really. Jesus. Right. We're rolling down here to 50 mile an hour. Let's get definitely on brake 2 for this one. Well, this one's coming around very quickly. Brake 3. Definitely going to be speeding as we come over this one. Brake 4. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 10 miles an hour too fast. It's alright though. It's not too bad. We'll just equalise the brake pressure a little bit. Brakes are much more responsive on this one. Look at this. Like, brakes are much more responsive now, holding at a steady 50 miles an hour. Looks like it's got a much better air brake. That would have been a pretty harsh break for the people there in first class. There'll be a few very well-written letters to Great Western Railways with regards to the absolutely barbaric force at which the driver broke his train into London Paddington. Barbaric it was. In Europe, you get cockpit information or cab information with regards to lines above 100 miles an hour. That's pretty good. Below that, you get just normal signs. Oh. Not bad. Nearly pulling in. We were just outside, in fact. Superb. We're just going to coast on in. She's done really well, this train. She's really slammed it up the main line. We've made good time. Here we go. Let's give her a little bit of initial brake. Just some initial brake force, nothing too major. Just to bring her down to the correct speed. Let's get her running just at 30 for the moment, and then we'll give it a little bit of initial brake as we get a bit closer. London Paddington is looming into view here. Initial braking. I love how responsive that air brake is. Really good. Coasting in. Right, we're on this left-hand line here. Rolling all the way up to the end. hopefully without hitting the buffers. Give ourselves a little bit of initial brake as we roll in. Brake 2. Brake 4. Full service! Ah! Oh, I parked. I don't know about that. Alright, lovely. Well. Fantastic. Right. Worth it, yes. I definitely... Yeah, blame Saru. Saru plays RuneScape, damn it. Right, okay. We're not going to replay that service. What can we do? It's only about 20 minutes until I would normally close of shop, or close of business. Let's see. What other services do we have? The Long Island Railroad, I seem to remember, wasn't too long of a service. It's not too bad. The M7 LIRR. We'll take this one out for a spin. Again, we'll take it out in summer rain. Let's continue. The time is current. It's not too much. It's not too bad, this one. It doesn't take too long at all. So we'll do this one now. So the time is currently 12:30, near as damn it. Let's see what we've got. 12:36 is pretty much spot on. We'll do this one. Continue the service from Port Washington to New York. Take over the service. Okay, let's do this one. Looks like it's going to be very short, and then we'll do the one immediately after it. We'll continue the scenario. Hugh plays Subway Delay. She's got me there. She's got me there. We could do Snow Fat Man, but we'll be all right. We'll do Rain for this one. I hate this train, by the way. I hate it. The doors are the worst system for doors I have ever weathered. Literally the worst system for opening the doors you have ever seen in your entire life. Obviously, this is a stop-start passenger service, so we will actually be opening the doors and stuff. Right. Okay, so what we need to do is set the master key on. There we go. Turn the train on. Reverser key set to forward. Master controller is at emergency. Release the brake to coast. And then off we go. Min power. Or min power, there we go. Are we going to find any amps? No. Do I need to set this train up? I feel like I do. Somehow. Door override. How do I get this one going again? Reverses forward. That's forward. Acknowledge. There, the horn. Absolutely no amps in the system. Can't remove the master key. Alerter bypass. Right, so have you tried turning it off and on again? Uncoupling switch. Headlights. Let's put them on bright. That's the emergency brake. How do I get this one going again? Genuinely forgotten. I'm clearly missing some step. Whatever that step be. There's a speed indicator. Can't do anything with that. Really sure this should just work? Really sure? Charge. Oh, do I have to charge the brakes? No, there's like a. Isn't there like a brake release? I'm pretty sure these cylinders have to match each other. I'm sure there's like a brake release valve somewhere. Hold on a minute. I've got to set this back to. Set this back to brake, max brake emergency. Then the reverser to key out. Turn that off. Can I charge the brakes now? No. On. Forward. Charge brake. Turn it to max. Charge brake. There we go. Got to charge the brake pressure. I knew it was something to do with that. My brake pressure's charged. We should be able to go now. There you go. I remember. I still have your tiny lines from the bullshittery. That's okay. I forgive you. Yes. Literally the only time I've ever played CSGO was in that bullshittery. Let's see. What speed am I up to? I might be up to 60 miles an hour. Where is the windscreen wiper? Part 2 of our expedition here. Cab light, ceiling lights, windshield heater, marker light on. Wash, wiper speed. Let's put it on high. Put it on low. An intuitively designed train is quite shocking. Actually having a label next to the goddamn thing. Pretty shocking. Just on coast. I appear to have my headlights on as well. Marker light off. There you go. Must have accidentally put my tail lights on. Lovely. Up to 60. Excellent job. So this tells me how fast I need to be going, which is nice. Also comes with a dimmer switch, which is very nice. Oh, I'm running on, looks like I'm running on yellows. Need to be mindful of that. And a downhill gradient, that's coast. I hope that's my green. It is. Jesus. Not bad at all. Is it like truck brakes? It needs air pressure to release the brakes, yeah. Oh, frames per minute. Beautiful. This service shouldn't take too long. Oh god, this looks steep here. Jesus. Gradient, is this on the downhill? Just here. 1 in 67, okay. Let's give it a minimum brake. 14% brake. That doesn't look good. That looks like... hopefully that's for the outer rail and not me. Yep. This. Attractive effort. There's a dynamic brake, supposedly. So we use the dynamic brake. Oh god. Suddenly, underground. Suddenly speeding horribly. Suddenly doing a 1 in 77 downhill. FPS is nominal in the tunnel. Look at that. That looks awesome. Got the buffeting in as well, which is good. Oof. Right. Ain't bad at all. Minimum brake. Yeah, still not enough. 10% brake. That's kind of holding it. 15 mile an hour coming up soon. Not bad. Genius train design, aye. Minimum power as we climb up a gradient now. Very steep gradient. Let's give it some juice. Let's start slowing her down with that glorious 15 mile an hour mark. Been told to watch speed. Change to a 40 mile an hour minimum brake. We roll over here. Beautiful. Probably don't need the wipers going, but there, off. We are on powered rail. Let's swap sides there. Very nice. We come. I'm speeding a little bit, but don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll just coast. Here we are. Monka S very close to that pillar. Jesus. Very nice. Right then. We've got to roll right up to the end of this platform. At like 1 frame per second. Just keep coasting our way through. Very nice. There we go. Minimum brake. Then 18%, 22. Somebody stop this thing. Just stop. There we go. Objective complete. Right. Well, I think that brings us pretty much up to the 2-hour mark. We're never going to get a service done in about 10 minutes, and I do need to go and make myself some lunch. So I am going to call that there. Hopefully you enjoyed this little snippet of Train Sim World. It is a little bit of an unusual game, but it is oddly relaxing to play when you're not me and not crashing into the buffers at London Paddington. Oh yeah, I need to open the doors. Okay, so yeah, opening the doors, you have to go key. You have to go key, and then turn that key to door control. Like, literally, it's the most like obnoxious thing ever. So you go key, you have to turn it to that, door control, and then you have to press that button. And then that allows everybody on and off. Honestly, like the most obnoxious thing ever to open the doors. And then, if you wanted to do the other side, right? I'll just do it as we are at the end of service here. We shall lock these doors. If you want to open the doors on the other side of the train, you have to lock this. Or continue. You have to lock this, take the door key, go over here, put the key in, change it to doors, and then unlock the rearward doors on that side. And then those doors open. You have to literally walk to the other side of the cab to open these doors. Which is the most bizarre, facile fucking thing I have ever done in my entire life. That's the way you open those doors. It actually beggars belief. Right then, that is it from me. Well, that's one way to stop you opening the wrong doors. It certainly is. Okay. Oh, I'm going to just have a stretch. Yes. So, hopefully you enjoyed it. This little snippet of Train Sim World. As I say, we don't play it too often, but it's always nice to wander on over. I'm not sure what I'm doing this evening, but if not, I shall see you tomorrow after work. So yeah, take care, folks. I'll catch you soon, and I'll probably pass you on to the lovely Miss Jaina, who I believe is playing some Subnautica at the moment, so I'll just see who's on. Let's see, is Miss Jaina live and running? She certainly is. She's not quite doing Subnautica. Looks like she's doing art. Yep, doing some Darkest Dungeon painting, so please do pass her my love. Make comment on the lovely t-shirt she is wearing, and I shall catch you all soon. Have a nice evening, folks, afternoon and morning, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yes, it is. It is the Bovington shirt. It's the Tank Museum shirt. So tell me, guys, did he jump out the train this time? Because that seems to be a standard for every time he plays that game. Did he jump out the train? Did somebody troll him to jump out the train? Ugh. Sad times. Sad times, guys. You crashed the train? What? How? Ugh. I guess it's because Dovetail Games saw his stream and was like, this guy's an idiot, we're gonna make sure he can't jump out the train anymore.